Welcome to Murray Bateman Field Days for 2019. My name is Michelle O'Neill and I own a little business called Cherry Tree Equine, and we do clinics. I do travel, not do horsemanship clinics, but something that we have specialised a lot in recent years is doing what we call clinics on the trail, whereby we actually at our home we have 2,500 acres down near Durango, sort of on the northeastern edge of the Monero, and we run clinics on the trail where people come down and bring their horses, and they get to spend time learning how we train horses out on the trail and away from the arena. Now, this horse is Billy. He is 5 years old. He's just starting his competition career with me, so he hasn't been anywhere much. He's a pretty good candidate today to show you of some exercises that you can go out on the trail that will help you. And I'm going to talk a lot today about being prepared to go out on the trail. Like you guys can see, this horse, he's a little agitated. He's chewing on the bit. He's wanting to go forward. You know, he's not real sure about what's going on here. And you know, this environment here at Murray Bateman Field Days is in some ways a little bit like going trail riding. I can't control what is going to happen here. Like, I can't control if the tractor pull starts. I can't control screaming kids. I can't control if someone decides to fall down the bank here in front of me. Okay, there's a lot of things here that are out of my control. And that is exactly the same when we go out on the trail, okay? You know, people say to me, oh, any horse can be a trail horse. But the reality of it is, when you're riding in an arena like this, like if you came down here tomorrow when there was no one around and it was quiet, you know, there's not a lot that's going to happen here that you can't foresee happening. So, for example, you know, you're not going to have, it's very unlikely, but you're going to have a mob of kangaroos come flying through the middle here, or you're not going to have, you know, motorbikes come screaming up over the hill. You know, and that's the sort of stuff that you could face when you're out in the trail. So, it's really good if you can prepare your horse for all of that sort of unexpected stuff that might happen before you get out on the trail. Okay, so, you know, like this horse, you can see because he's a little agitated, he wants to move forward a hell of a lot. He doesn't want to stand still, okay? He's wanting to get his feet in motion. And am I letting him just go wherever he wants and do whatever he wants? No. I'm working him in a controlled situation on a circle. Now, I do a lot of this when I'm on the trail, when I'm out riding around the paddocks. We've got a lot of timbered country and a lot of open country, and I might get these young horses out and ride them out in the timber and like spend time turning them around trees and spend time bending and flexing them in circles around bushes and stuff that I come across, okay? So I prepare for this by making sure my horse can walk a circle, okay? So you can see he gets a little distracted. That's okay. And here's the thing, if you're riding a young horse like this, or a green horse that is wanting to get a little distracted, if you're riding a small circle, you're always in a position to have control quickly, because your inside rein is in a position to come back toward your hip and pull that horse into a one-rein stop, okay? If you've got a horse heading out across the paddock or across the arena and his head's out straight, it is harder to bring them around into that one-rein stop. So I teach all of my horses to do a one-rein stop on a circle to start with. And your one-rein stop is the most important thing you can teach a horse, no matter what you want to do with him. It doesn't matter whether you want to go trail riding, or, you know, you want to be a camp drafter or whatever, okay? The one-rein stop is the most important tool that you and your horse can work on. Now, the thing with a one-rein stop is what a lot of people do is they wait until they're out an event or out in the trail, and then they think they're going to teach their horse how to do a one-rein stop. The problem is, at that moment, it's a bit like today. There's, you know, lots of stuff going on, and this horse isn't that thrilled about the whole concept. This is the first time he's been in this arena over the weekend. So if I decided right now to teach this horse the one rein stop for the first time, chances are he's going to be so distracted by what's going on, I'm going to have a little trouble getting him to listen to me. But because even though today, you know, now the RFS are picking up rubbish bins and the tractor pull's making noise and the helicopter's flying around, when I do this, he knows exactly what I'm asking him to do. Okay? He's not doing it as calmly as he will do tomorrow when I ask him to do the same thing on my arena at home, but he still knows what it is. Okay, so your one rein stop is that reaching down your inside rein, asking him to give his nose. Now the biggest mistake you can doing this is to not, if you do not let go of the outside rein, you can flip a horse over on top of you. I've done it. Okay, so don't think it doesn't happen. So make sure when you do your one rein stop, you reach with this hand, you bring your horse's nose around toward your foot, and you let go of the outside rein. Now you'll note when I do this, my body position doesn't move. Lots of people, when they start to lose this, start to learn this sort of stuff, what they do is they will look down, or they'll reach their bum out of the saddle to get down to do it. You want to make sure that your bum's still in the saddle. This is one of my cues that tells my horses to not go. So if I lean forward, I'm saying go. Well, if I keep my bum in the saddle, remember we're doing a one rein stop. So I want him to stop. Okay, so I'm giving him all the stop cues. If you look at my legs, you can see that my heels are down and they're off. Okay, I haven't got pressure on him saying go forward. When I stop, I might even kick my feet out a little further just to overemphasize that I mean stop. Okay, I'll often tell people, look up at the horizon, look at the trees. Okay, so if I keep my eyes up and I ride around and I look all of you, and I pull him into a one rein stop, there is little movement in my body. Okay? Now, if you have a horse that has a lot of forward movement and is like a horse that wants to, you know, rush on, you can start to get them listening to you just by doing this. You know, you guys, I'm still, you know, pulling him around into a one rein stop, and I'd be doing this if you weren't here. Okay, if all of this noise and excitement and everything was going on, I'd still be getting this horse's attention by going, please come here. Okay? Now, if any of you saw my groundwork demonstration this morning, I spoke about, you know, starting your flexing and disengaging hindquarters and all of that stuff on the ground. Like, it's not hard to tell that this horse has had a lot of groundwork. Okay, because that you watch him when I ask him to give his nose, I'm not pulling on his face, okay? He is literally following the feel of my hand. So when my hand comes out here and I come around, you can all see there now, even though he's walking, see how he's not pulling on my rein at all. Okay, now, if you have a horse that has never done this, and they do pull on your rein and they do move your feet, what you're doing is you're going to maintain that pressure of that one rein stop until your horse releases the pressure and keeps his feet still. So if I hold him there, that horse is soft and his feet are still, I'm going to let him go. I didn't ask him to walk off, okay? So you go out on the trail and you want your horse to be listening to you, okay? So you guys can see this horse, because he's a little old by today, his natural instinct is to walk off. When I drop the reins on him, now he's going to stand for me. Okay, that's what I want him to do, because nothing in what I'm doing right now is saying go forward. I've got my hand down on his neck, my feet are off and relaxed, my seat is deep in the saddle, okay? I'm not asking him to go anywhere. I want him to stand when I want him to stand. And that is something that is really important to work on with your horses, okay? So, how do you get a horse that listens? How do you get a horse that pays attention attention to what you're asking him to do. How do you get a horse that goes the pace you want him to go, that stops when you want him to stop? Wouldn't you be consistent in your requests? Okay, so we're going to work on getting this horse to stop, okay, when I want him to stop, not when he wants to stop, okay? So you guys can see I've asked him to come around and do a one rein stop, and he's still walking. Am I taking the pressure away? No. I'm going to hold the pressure here just by holding onto that inside rein until he stops. This horse is probably the most light, flexible and bendy horse I have bred or trained in my life. So he will always look very light when I flex him, okay? But a lot of what you guys will get, if you have a horse that hasn't done a lot of this, when you reach down on this rein and you around, they will keep moving, but they will also be pulling on your hand. Movement to stop and wait for the pulling to stop. Okay, can you guys see, watch this horse's body language a little bit? Like we'll see how, I'm just holding it here while I show this, but see how his head's moving and see how his mouth's chewing and his ears are going and he's going to bite my boot. He's thinking about being anywhere but with me at the moment, okay? And you know what? That's okay. He's a young horse. He hasn't been anywhere much. I don't expect him to be perfect today, okay? But I am going to keep building the skills on him that are going to get him perfect, okay? So, ask him to do another one rein stop. Let him go. Remembering, I'm putting stuff in the arena now that I want to have in his skill set when we go out riding on the trail, okay? So he wants to walk. No, my legs are off. I'm sitting like soft in the saddle with my weight down. I'm keeping my eyes up. So I will reward him when he stands still by letting his head go, okay? Horses learn by reward, okay? So right now for this horse, this is uncomfortable, okay? So he's got his head bent around, like he doesn't want to be in here. Okay, so I'm just going to sit and wait until he does what I want, which is stand still. You guys might notice we're creeping to the gate. Like, if I was doing this as a training session at home, I wouldn't care if we got all the way to the gate. I'm going to bend his head around a bit further. Okay, if we got all the way to the gate before he stopped, they were fine. There we go, he stood. And of course, what's his first instinct? Walk off. I don't want that. So what's the first thing I'm going to do? I'm going to ask him to stop again. He walks off. I ask him to stop. So we're now working on getting this horse to stand still. And if you guys have ever been out in a trail ride in a big group and you get those horses that just want to go to the front or just want to, lead the group, whatever, they're often horses like this bloke. Okay? See how? That was the wrong answer. Billy gave me the wrong answer, so I asked him for another one rein stop. Now he stands still, correct answer. I am giving him the opportunity to make the mistake. If I was going to say what one of the most common training mistakes I see people make is they have not yet developed the feel and the timing to offer their horse the opportunity to make a mistake, okay? I could sit here and hold on to this horse's face all day. I could sit here and hold him and make him stop. And mates are over there. He knows all of that. But what am I doing? I'm not actually teaching him anything. Okay? All I'm doing is face, and eventually he'll start backing up. But if I let the reins go and he makes a mistake and then I correct it, he's actually learnt something from the process. And I'm really big in my training program about having horses that are independent in their thinking. Like, I want them to do whatever I ask them to do, but I want them to have the self-confidence and the trust in me that I don't have to be micromanaging them all the time. All of you guys have worked with someone who's a micromanager. It's a ball of fun, isn't it? Oh, imagine how your horse feels. Or one of those people who constantly holds on to your horse's face, who constantly... You don't like it, so imagine how much they enjoy it. okay? I did dressage until I was 23, so I'm allowed to say this. There's a reason why, and I'm not bagging warm bloods. There's a reason why warm bloods are called dumb bloods. It's because they are designed to do that, the dressage and all that, where people are hanging on to their face, because you know that you have to ride them into the outside rain, you have to have contact, you have to do that. I'm not bagging the sport, okay? But my point is, those horses mentally designed for that sort of situation. Horses like this are not. If you got on this horse and drove him into the bridle, like I would get on and drive a dressage horse into the bridle, he won't. He's mentally not set up to have that amount of control in his life, okay? And because in what I do with my horses, I need to trust them to do stuff for themselves, okay? You know, like I said, you know, this is his horse's first ever demonstration. First time he's been in this arena. I expect him to do everything he's doing today. Okay, I'm not worried about it. And that's the same thing for you guys. If your horse has never been out in a trail ride, and like some of those big group trail rides, like at Grenfell and stuff, they have like 100 horses in them. If your horse has never seen 100 horses in his life, and you do no preparation, chances are that poor critter is going to be a little bit like this bloke. It's going to be a little on the toe. So, you know, do some preparation and go out and do some trail rides with some friends and do it in a controlled environment and do it with people you trust. And that is something I can't stress enough. Would any of you get in a car with someone who's been sitting at the bar of the local pub for the last 5 hours, happily drinking schooners? You're not going to get in the car and let that person drive. Because that person doesn't have complete control of their mental state. So here's the thing, why would you go out with a group of people and go trail riding if that group of people have differing ideas to you on what a nice trail ride is? So my classic example is people who gallop off, people who want to gallop everywhere, people who don't wait for you when you go to close a gate. You know, this is, even on the trail, it is a training exercise for your horse. So if you go riding with those sorts of people, don't be surprised when you don't have a very nice day. You know, one of our big things is I often generally won't let people even go and canter as a group, because I will always have at least one rider in that group who's not up to doing that. So if you go trail riding with friends and you're the least experienced or the most novice in the group should ride to your ability, okay? You have to always cater to the person who knows the least. So that's always something to think about when you think about who you go riding with and where you go riding. Think very carefully about that. Something I see a lot of at trail rides is horses that want to rush forward. Now, I'm a big fan of circles, and if you ever spent any time with me at a clinic or seen me train my horses, you will know that they do lots and lots and lots of circles. And you guys saw I was doing 100,000 circles around those cones while I was talking to you before. Circles are your friend, okay? Circles are what slow your horse down. Now, I'm not asking this horse to do a one-run stop this time. I'm asking him to do a circle. So I'm going to drop the reins and let him walk on. Now, if he goes any faster than I want, I'm going to do a circle. I'm going to drop the reins and let him walk on. He's thinking about trotting, so I'm going to ask him to do a circle. Now, you guys might say, but hang on a minute, you're just telling us to do one-run stops. Yes, I was. Okay, but I was telling you to teach your horse a one-run stop as a basic training tool. Now I'm teaching you to teach your horse to slow down. So if I walk out across here, I don't know if you guys can see, but he was heading to the gate just then, he got a bit faster. As soon as I turned him away from the gate, he slowed down. So now if he's walking too fast for me, I'm going to do a circle. A circle is hard work to a horse, okay? The easiest thing this horse could do right now is stand still, obviously. Second most easiest thing is to walk in a straight line. But when he walks in a straight line, he starts getting fast. So I bring him back and ask him to walk a circle. There he slowed his pace down. I let him go. he speeds up again. I ask him to walk a circle. So what I'm doing is I'm asking this horse to control his pace. I want this horse to travel at a pace that I am happy with. Okay, so if I let him go, and you guys can see I'm not doing anything to make him walk, and I decide this is too fast, walk a circle. Make it a little harder, but I'm not punishing him, like, you know, I'm not hurting the horse, I'm not pulling on his face, I'm not making him hate life. All I'm saying is, if you walk any faster than what I want, I will make you do a circle, because that's harder. How? And I said it before, horses learn by reward, okay? But what they do is, and this is how you work this in your head. I want you guys to think about this anytime you're riding your horses. You always make the right thing easy and the wrong thing difficult. So, for the purpose of this exercise, the wrong thing is him walking too fast. So, I walk a circle, I make it difficult because he did the wrong thing. When he slows down and balances himself, there, I will reward him by letting him go. So I let him walk on. Now, if he goes a little fast, I'll pick up. Again, I make his life a little difficult. I make the wrong thing hard. The wrong thing is rushing. The hard thing is doing the circle. There we go. He balanced himself. He walked a bit slower. I let him go again. He starts to get that spring in his step. Pick him up and ask him to come around the circle. There we go. I let him go again. So can you start to see how consistency becomes your friend? Okay? The more consistent I am with what I ask this horse to do, the more chance there is of him repeating the behaviour. So, even now I've gone on to show you guys another exercise. I dropped the reins on this horse and he walked off. So what did I do straight away? I pulled him into a one-rein stop. He walks off again. So even though in your training program, you go on to do another exercise, don't forget the other things that you've been teaching your horse. Okay? Don't get so obsessed by one thing that you forget about everything else you've been teaching your horse. So we've covered doing one-rein stops. One-rein stops are your friend. We've covered doing circles. Circles are your friend. My next favourite thing is I like horses that walk in a dead straight line. Can you guys see how that horse is drifting to the right? So I turned him left. What I want to do is, again, right thing easy, wrong thing difficult. The right thing that I want this horse to do is walk to whatever obstacle is in front of him and stop without me helping him. Okay, at the last moment he thinks about going left, so I'll turn him right. So this is called the guiding exercise, because when I go out on the trail and I go for a trail ride, I want to be able to relax and, you know, if I'm running a clinic on the trail, I need to be able to focus on all of you. So I want my horse to head in a dead straight line until I tell him different. Now, the trick riding horses are the classic example of that. They have to follow the pattern around and around. They have to follow the course around and around and around. They don't do that. If they deviate, those girls, you know, well, I would fall off. The girls can ride better than me, you know. But, so what I'm doing is it's the same kind of thing. Now he's headed to the gate in a hurry, so I'm going to put that circle back into him and ask him to slow his feet. Now I'm going to turn him away from the gate, turn him loose. So I'm headed straight up to this fence up here. This horse should go in a dead straight line until he hits that fence. But I don't know if you can see he's actually drifting to the left, so I'm going to turn him right. Whichever your horse wants to go, you turn him in the opposite direction. Okay? Now note, I'm doing it on a loose rein. He drifted left. I am not micro-managing this horse. What's he going to do? Where did I just turn him to? He's gotten faster, hasn't he? Okay. So for the purpose of talking to all of you, I've let that go about 5 metres and I shouldn't, further than I should have. Turn him around, head him to the fence. Can you see he's drifting that way slightly? Now he's drifting that way, so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull him into the fence that way. So whichever way he wants to go, I will turn him the opposite direction. Now this is a fantastic exercise to help you guys develop your timing and your feel, okay? Because what I need to feel is, I need to feel this horse the instant he starts to shift. Okay, so if I'm headed, we know what's going to happen when I head this way. He's going to walk faster, so I'm going to circle him. Okay, there he slows down. I turn him loose. Now we're going to head to this post, okay? He should get to that post and stop. See how at the last minute he thought about going that way? Okay, if I wasn't doing a demo, I would have turned him straight back into the fence. Okay? Sometimes by the time it happens and I explain it to you and then we get back to it, it takes a little gap. So here we go, we're off at the walk again. Let's turn him back. I'm turning this horse to the fence a lot because you guys are all here and I want you to see what I'm doing. See that? Let's go this way. So you think about it, you're out on the trail somewhere and you come to a bit of a boggy creek. Like our place, we're at 1,200 metres, so we have a fair few of those mountainy type creeks. How cool is it if you know that your horse, if you ride that horse you do a creek crossing, is never going to deviate? For any of you who have ever done any show jumping, how cool is it to know that if you've got a horse that will go straight to a line on his show jumping course? Okay, that stuff's kind of fun. You know, so this is what we're teaching this horse now. Okay, I'm teaching this horse that he should go dead straight no matter what. Now we're talking. He should go dead straight no matter what obstacle is in front of him. Now he's thinking about that grass over there. So what do you do if you get your horse? Okay, he's going to move, but if he was standing dead still and being calm and relaxed like he's meant to, what would I do now? I'd do nothing for a couple of minutes. I would sit here and pat him on the bum and tell him he's the most beautiful buckskin that God ever breathed life into and that I love him dearly and what a wonderful job he's doing as a demo horse. And then after a bit, then I might walk off and go and do something else. Okay? So, those are just 3 really simple, basic little exercises that you guys can practice at home in your arena that are going to make sure that you have a much more enjoyable time when you get out on the trail. Okay, so your one range stops, controlling your speed and controlling your direction. You think about it, when you go out trail riding, stopping, turning and going as fast as you want to go, that's really all you need to do. Okay, there's not really much more that you need to know. You need to know that if something scary happens, you have a one range stop to control your horse so that you're safe. You need to know that you can go whatever speed you want to go or what speed the group's going. And you need to know that you need to be able to head in straight lines or round trees or whichever direction you want to head. So if you can get those 3 basic skills going, you're going to have a lot more fun when you get out in the countryside. But thanks for coming, guys. I'll be around, so if you want to come and talk to me, ask me questions, I'm more than happy to help you, and enjoy the rest of the field days.